Well, it was fireworks from the outset. While the state maintained it had an open and shut case against the trio, it said it was still relying on circumstantial evidence and needed more time to investigate, and then asked for a postponement to be ready for trial.
Under these circumstances, request that this case be postponed for trial, plea and trial. And I propose, Your Worship, February next year, Your Worship, and that the matter hopefully could be set down for 2 consecutive weeks.
Well, that request unleashed a barrage of accusations from the defense, including that the state's case was lacking and that there were still some missing documents in the docket.
We will object to a postponement of these proceedings on the premise of further investigations having to be carried out. Your Worship, I simply need to, with respect, remind Your Worship what your comment was when this matter last served before you. No more postponements. My learned friend must understand that that is the court's attitude to this matter. Now to come before you and say to you, I want further investigations to be done. It is bizarre. It is in fact disrespectful to this honourable court to do that.
A 7-page letter from the defense claiming the state is not ready to proceed with the trial against the accused also prompted a heated exchange in court.
I do not know what counsel for accused number 2 wants me to do with that letter, because they don't say anything, asking me anything in that letter. But I will leave that aspect for counsel for accused number 2 to put before the court, and I will request an opportunity to reply thereto at the appropriate time, Your Worship.
This 7-page letter spells out in detail what documentation has not been put in the files. It's as simple as that. Let me tell Your Worship, without delving into the contents of the letter. For instance, the directive that wasn't complied with. I can tell you there's an affidavit in the docket that speaks of a directive. That directive's not even attached. I can tell you with reference to sampling and concentrations and analysis, there are affidavits that speak to these things. Those certificates, they call them certificates where there was certain instrumentation used. The long and the short of it is, none of these things are attached to the affidavits. But these are things that the state, even in its latest charge sheet, seeks to rely upon. Now, if you haven't even procured that, how do you proceed to trial? This is not going to become a trial by ambush. That, my learned friend for the state must understand already now, because that is what he is seeking to achieve here.
Prompting an intervention from the presiding officer, and then eventually a decision.
We have arranged dates of trial for this matter. It will be the 18th to the 25th of June and the 23rd to the 29th of July 2020.
Criselda Lewis, SABC News at the Springs Regional Court.